Glomeruli.
Well, yeah, but they're only found in the cortex of the kidney. Okay. These round structures are the glomeruli. Around the glomerulus, you can see that thin white space. That would be the glomerular capsule. Or the space, excuse me, not the glomerular capsule, but the capsular space. And then just around that, we might be able to see
But there's a capsule around the glomerulus, is that what you said?
there's a capsule around the glomerulus. Let's zero in on one of those.
Oh, that's in the urinary tract.
Looks pretty good. Okay. So glomerulus, you can see some blood in it. This is a blood vessel passing nearby. You can see the capsular space and the glomerular capsule. See that nucleus there? A few flablins. There's a simple squamous epithelium going all the way around there. Okay, now, what are the different kinds of tubules we can see around the glomerulus, or the renal corpuscle? Proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. All right, how are we going to tell those apart? Well, let's find a better section first.
It's freezing in here.
Okay. Here's a tubule. Okay, nice transverse section to a tubule. How are we going to tell the proximal convoluted tubules from the distal convoluted tubules?
Microvilli.
Microvilli in which one?
Proximal.
Proximal. Do you see microvilli?
No.
Not really.
No.
Is it going to be visible?
Will they be visible? Yeah, yeah. So this is a distal convoluted tubule. These might be microvilli. So I'd be more inclined to call this a proximal.
And then the one above you said would be distal.
Yeah. So this is distal. That's proximal, I think, because it's got the stuff.
Are these
folded
like
into it.
cuboidal?
They are more or less a cuboidal epithelia.
Okay.
That one right at the bottom in the very middle look like it's a,
This?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably
Or is that
proximal.
just the,
You said the proximal has villi?
Yeah.
yeah.
No, not villi, microvilli.
Microvilli.
Big difference.
Hard to tell.
See how close these nuclei are to the surface though? I think that that's a continuation of this one. So I think that that's
to the nuclear closer to the edge.
Yeah. They'll also pick up different stains. Notice how these cells have a different color than these. So I think that these are all proximal. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Oh, wait a second. No, these might be epitheli. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
can I
like
see
some-
that?
I think you're right. So these would be proximal convoluted tubules.
Yeah.
I think these are distal. That's tricky. I would give you a really clear example.
With the answer. I would know.
Now, we get to a point when we're scanning around here. Okay, so we've got glomeruli all over here, but oops, we scan down, get to a point where the glomeruli start to disappear, and all those tubules start to go parallel. Oops, a little bit too parallel there. Down here, they become more parallel to each other. So we need to be able to tell either in these transverse sections above or in these sections down here that the ducts from the loops of Henle. For our purposes, nephron loops, even though in lecture and for the lecture exam you need to know that part of them is cuboidal epithelium and part of them is simple squamous epithelium, we cannot really tell the cuboidal epithelium of these from the ducts, the collecting ducts. So for our purposes, when you see a ring of simple squamous epithelium or a row of simple squamous epithelium, that's nephron loop. And when you see a tall cuboidal, almost columnar epithelium, that's your collecting duct. So let's put that in.
What did you say was tall cuboidal?
Collecting duct.
Thank you.
This all looks like collecting ducts. I'm just going to scan on down here. Now this may just look like a hodgepodge of stuff, but you can see the lumen of a tubule here. Right? Now we're slicing through that. We've got a tube kind of going out of through the plane like that at an oblique angle. So we're getting some of the near wall, we're slicing through and getting some of the far wall. But you can see we've got those cuboidal cells. So this is a collecting tubule for our purposes. As we scroll down, I want you to notice something. Look at the angle of these tubes. They're all kind of going that way, right? So I scroll over here, that angle's changing. Where are they all converging? All converging down down
Like
there.
the papilla?
And so, yes, exactly. So that's the renal papilla. Very good.
What's the renal papilla?
The renal papilla is where all those tubes are converging. And then what is the space under the renal papilla?
Oh, the,
Calyx.
Calyx. Very good. Right? So that's where it's the tip of the pyramid.
Okay.
So it's where all those collecting ducts are converging, and it empties out into the renal calyx, the minor calyx, which then
And the
goes
major
calyx,
calyx.
which then goes into.
pelvis to the ureter. To the toilet.
Right. Now, oh, and sure enough, since that's part of the calyx, we would expect this to be what kind of epithelium? Transitional epithelium. And it is, although you may not believe me from this particular section.
What has? I thought that only the bladder had transitional epithelium.
Transitional bladder.
The bladder does, but the entire urinary system from the
Oh,
renal calyx is stem.
okay.
So you can see these lumen cells.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find a better example of these tubules. The other thing I want to find, if possible, is a lupus.
Did you find an afferent or an efferent arterial?
They're really hard to find and even harder to tell apart. Think about it, it's a couple of vessels that are passing into, you got a basketball, and you've got two strings going into the basketball, right? So think of all the different ways you could slice that basketball and all the different ways you could miss those two strings. And then you have to be able to tell them apart. Okay, if we have a blood vessel here, and these are all those collecting, see how linear everything is? So this is all still collecting tubules, and we have a blood vessel here, capillary. So what is that capillary part of? It's
So
the name of
the inside of them.
This is down in the collecting tubules,
No,
and it's
it's
down among
the.
Oh, the vasorectum?
vasorecta.
Yes.
Very good. So that's part of the vasorecta. And we can see a few flat nuclei. So we have some nephron loops here somewhere. I just can't see them. I've been looking for them this last 5 minutes or so. Oh, those are even better. Okay. This